This is CJ at St. Catherine University in St. Paul, where 2019 graduates witnessed their commencement speaker taking care of some unfinished business. Hala Bahmet, the costume designer for NBC's This Is Us, played the part of a graduate because she missed her own big day. So you finally got to walk across the stage.
Yes, I did. I had actually received my diploma in the mail, but I just missed the actual graduation ceremony, the commencement exercises, when I graduated. I did graduate, I just didn't get to walk. I was working, and whatever it was, it took me away, and I think it took me out of town. I'll have to go look through my resume and see what I was working on when I should have been walking across the stage.
Did you hit up any of the actors on the set of This Is Us for advice giving a commencement address?
Well, that is a wonderful question because, one of the first people that I told that I was giving the commencement address is Sterling K. Brown. Of course, the honorable, multi-award winning actor Sterling K. Brown. St. Kate's reached out to me, and then I told my mother, and I told my daughter and my husband and my sister. And I went to work the next day, and I just took him aside, and he was so ecstatic because I had seen his Stanford commencement speech, and it was super inspiring to me, and it was wonderful to see him in that different environment. And so I told him, I'm just going to watch your speech for some pointers.
The easiest way I can think of showing your appreciation for their investment in your human capital is by shining.
What nugget did you share with the young women today that you're especially proud of, I want to know?
That's a tough one to pick just one thing because I felt like I had, as a visual artist, I'm not a writer, so I don't write speeches. I've rarely written anything that I need to recite publicly.
But you're a world-class talker.
I'm a world-class talker when I'm talking to you. No, but it's about hitting the right notes. So in my speech, in terms of what is most important to me or what stood out to me, I feel like I hit on some of my most important issues right now, and I feel like they're sort of equally important to me. The issue of justice, and it was unexpected to me to hear the students talking about justice and social justice and equality. But so for me, it's about justice and social justice, and my final closing is the stuff that's really most important to me. And of course, dealing everything that falls under that category, talking about my mother and the sexism that she experienced, talking about some of my own experiences, having been discriminated against as a woman, but also just putting it all together and closing with science is real, Black Lives Matter, women's rights are human rights, love is love, and kindness is everything. And no human is illegal. So that for me that kind of sums it all up. And I think it's important right now because of some of the challenges that we're facing.
Were you nervous?
I was nervous earlier today, but I wasn't. Once I heard the student speakers who I felt spoke so eloquently and so powerfully, that brought tears to my eyes. So I wasn't nervous about the speaking. I was nervous that I might start crying because their speeches were so moving, and looking at all the people all the graduates, and just feeling for them and knowing that there's just so much ahead of them. It was very powerful, very emotional. So I was afraid of crying, basically.
Were any of those tears related to the fact that you weren't able to wipe away everyone's debt?
I wish I could do that. I wish I could wipe away my daughter's debt, college debt. No, that was a wonderful thing.
What is the item in your house that gives away what you do for a living for someone who has come over to make repairs?
Okay, it's pretty easy to guess what I do for a living the minute you walk in my front door, because right to the right of my front door is a room with glass doors that has 5 or 6 garment racks filled with wardrobe. And I have sheets covering it partially, but it's with hoop skirts and medieval dresses and, men's poet shirts and all kinds of kind of crazy, wacky costume stuff. That room used to be our piano room, but as my career took off and as I needed to have more storage, we moved the piano into the family room, and that has become we call it the racks room now. And I think it drives my husband crazy.
What item do you have too many of in your closet?
I have many, many, many white shirts. I don't know if I have too many because I think that maybe you can't have enough crisp white shirts. That has become my de facto uniform for work just because it's just so easy to do whatever we need to do. If we need to dye something or wash something or run around town or do fittings, a crisp white shirt and a pair of jeans, that is my uniform.
Well, today's uniform, I see you busted out of the white, you've gone with the ecru, and I like the pinstripe suit. Is that a pink pinstripe? Yes, it is.
Sure is.
And this is an expensive suit. Look how it's lined up. How do you do that? How do you do that?
Well, I will admit I did not personally custom tailor this beautiful suit for myself. I did have a store that we work with offer me a very wonderful deal to buy this beautiful suit. And I like the pink pinstripe. I made myself a pink silk pocket square to go with. And
Well, you know I like how it's lining up here. And I know that caught your eye.
I can't see it right now. The peak lapel.
It's the lapel and the collar.
Oh, the lapel and the collar. And the back too.
The back is fabulous. Getting those stripes lined up like that is a miracle of tailoring from where I sew. I gotta get a shot of that too. After our interview, Hala took a trip back to her old creative stomping grounds. The space is now called the Apparel, Merchandising, and Design Department. If you want to join Hala's quick tour with Department Chair Anupama Pasricha, keep watching. The lab has been extensively updated since Hala was a student at St. Kate's. No food in the lab, it makes sense.
But food still comes in the lab.
I'm sure it does.
Wonderful. Her shoulders are still up. This is absolutely stunning.
So this is usually they build the body to their size, you know, so that they give all the padding. So you know.
Yes, I do.
That's fine.
You start with a mannequin that's close to your size and then add it. It's what we do with all of our actors is we start with a mannequin that's close to their size and then we add any place that we might need to add. If someone has big biceps, we'll add a little bit more in the biceps if it's one of our strong guys or whatever it is.
Sterling K. Brown, however, is perfect.
He is perfect.
So that was your favorite
Because he's
textiles
very
class.
Oh, yes, fantastic.
Yeah. This one is the latest one. Yeah. And then I also got a couple donations that are.
What is that?
So this is like a cover stitch machine. So
A who?
your t-shirts, cover stitch machine
Okay, cover
for
stitch.
knits,
Okay.
you know, so it's for your t-shirts and things like that.
Okay.
It's when you see a
Athletic
seam
wear.
that has a number of different threads running through it, like say around the neckline of a t-shirt, like an athletic t-shirt, and there's a bunch of threads going back and forth. This is the machine that
Yeah,
does
and
that.
like on your t-shirt, the same it's done on this
Oh,
machine.
sweet, sweet.
And that's blind hemming machine.
This is blind hemming. This is where you make a hem where you can't see it. It's the next best thing to doing a hand hem.
Wow.
This looks familiar to me now.
Yes.
This is what I kind of think.
Yeah, somebody was selling worked on it for 25 years. It's like we'll sell it for $300. So okay, I'll get
Wonderful.
it.
Oh gosh, yes.
And it's
Wonderful.
using- So this was some of, as I said, messy VR.
It looks like a working shop. It looks just like it
This is
should.
some of the